Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and it's Tuesday, so as you can imagine, it is time for our weekly tier list Tuesday. And 2 weeks ago, I did every single team starting goalies. A week ago, I did every single team's #1 center. So as you could probably imagine, and as it fucking says in the title, we're doing every single team's #1 defenseman today. We are finishing out this little trilogy, so let's not waste any time. If you've seen those other videos, you know how we roll. We got superstar, elite, very good, good, solid, meh. Pretty straightforward. I'm just going on based on who I think is the best defenseman on every single team. For example, for the Vegas Golden Knights, I have Shea Theodore, not Alex Pietrangelo. They're like roughly the same tier of players. Like even if you think Pietrangelo's better, he's not that much better. So let's get into it. Up first, we got Slavin. I'm putting Slavin in elite. Yes, he maybe doesn't have those gaudy offensive totals. A part of that is because he doesn't play the top power play. Brett Burns obviously does. But this guy has been around 40 points while being arguably the best defensive defenseman in the entire NHL, basically since he burst onto the scene in like 2016, 2017. So I think the track record is undeniable. He's still doing it at an extremely high rate. He's an elite top 12 defenseman in the entire NHL. Quinn Hughes, no shit, superstar, 92 points in 82 games last year, got his first Norris. Let's not waste any time. He's always been extremely elite offensively. This year, a fantastic defensively as well. John Carlson, this is tough. I'm moving him down to good. I think John Carlson's going to have a very solid year this year, and I don't think that he's some defensive black hole. Is he a top? He's like fringe top 20 for me. So I think if he's fringe top 20, I'm going to just put him in good for now. I might end up moving him up. Josh Morrissey, I think you got to have Josh Morrissey in elite at this point. 69 points last year, 76 points the previous year. Was much better defensively this year compared to last. Back-to-back top 10 defense, arguably top 5 defenseman seasons the last 2 years. He needs to be an elite. Jake Wallman, I'm not going to dump on the guy because he's just like, he's in a tough spot. He's kind of de facto the #1 defenseman. So as a result, it's tough. He's barely even a top pair guy, but is in solid slash man. Mike Matheson, I think I might move Mike Matheson up as well. I got to see how this goes. But as of right now, I'm going to put him in solid. Yes, he had 62 points this season. I'm not sure he's going to be able to replicate that. Not the best defensively. He's a very good top pair guy. But in terms of an actual #1, not sure he's an actual #1 on a competitive team. Brock Faber is going to go in good when looking at Faber this season. 47 points. The defensive metrics did kind of slide as the season continued to go on, but what he did at 21 years old was very impressive. And I think next season he's going to be around 50, 55 points. Very good as well. Would not shock me if when I do this at the middle of next season, he's in the very good tier. Cale Makar, we're knocking out the fucking 2 of the top 3 defensemen in the NHL. Cale Makar, still the best defenseman in the NHL. Bit of a down year defensively this season, but still 90 points. Morgan Riley, I'm going to put him in solid slash meh. I'm not going to lie. When looking at him defensively, basically every single year, he is always in like the bottom 10% of defensive metrics. He's a very good top pair offensive defenseman. And I'm not even saying he's overpaid at $7.5 million, but is he a true #1? I don't think so. I think he needs the kind of like a TJ Brody from 2021 to 2023 elite defenseman to play with him. Maybe that could be the case with Chris Tanev, but on his own, can he carry an entire pair? I'm not really sure that's the case. And the same logic kind of goes for Victor Hedman, who has been pretty bad defensively the last 2 years. Yes, he's fantastic offensively around point per game, but I'm going to put him as good right now. Shea Theodore, I'm going to throw him in good as well. He's around the same kind of tier as Carlson and Hedman. Very, very good offensive defenseman, just can never really stay healthy. He's consistently put up around 60 to 70 point pace the last 3 to 4 years. Just needs to stay healthy. I think he's better than Alex Pietrangelo and will be better than Alex Pietrangelo next season. Erik Karlsson, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. He is still great offensively. The Pittsburgh Penguins power play was just like bottom 5 in the entire NHL. If they get that back on track, Erik Karlsson's going for like north of 65, even 70 points. And him defensively was actually pretty decent with Marcus Peterson last year. Pedersen. I think Erik Karlsson's going to surprise people next year. I've been saying it nonstop. I put Alex Vlasic instead of Seth Jones. Either way, they'd be in solid slash good. Alex Vlasic, very impressive last year. Dog shit team, very good defensively. And as a result, they smartly locked him up on a 6-year contract at $4.6 million. Jake Sanderson, I'm going to put Sanderson in good. This is projecting for next season. I think Sanderson's going to have around 50, 55 points while being great defensively. I think that he is going to, like, a lot of people are going to realize just how good Jake Sanderson is, especially in an expanded role. Now that Chikrin's not there, I think Sanderson is going to impress a lot of people. Noah Dobson, very good. Not the best defensively, but after a 70-point season, I see no reason why he's not going to do that yet again. And he's not a black hole defensively, but he can be pretty solid. Very good. Not quite a top 10 guy. I think I had him like 14th or 15th in the entire league. So as a result, he gets a very good marking. Adam Fox. Now we got all my top 3 defensemen up here. The guy has finished top 5 in Norris voting every single year since 2021 while being around 75-ish point pace. Last year was actually above a point per game. Adam Fox, no doubt, top 3 defenseman. Zach Werenski. This is a close one. I'm going to put Zach Werenski in very good. I usually glaze this dude a lot. He is like my number 11 best defenseman in the entire NHL, but I do think that these two are a tier up. Drew Doughty, not the most prolific offensive guy, but was very, very good defensively last season. Plays like 26 minutes a night despite being 33 years old. Is as consistent as it gets. He's had a nice, like, 2018, 2019, it looked like he was kind of falling, or 2019, 2020, he was looking like he was falling off a little bit, but he's really just, like, one down year, now he's back up to being, like, a top 15, roughly, defenseman in the NHL. Cam York, you could put, who am I thinking of? Travis Sanheim here, doesn't really change the result, not a real number 1 top pair guy. I think Cam York's going to have a very good season, and maybe even break out a decent amount, but when looking at the names ahead of him on top, or that are on top of him, he's clearly not in that same tier. Moritz Seider, the analytics are tough on Moritz Seider, but I think watching this guy, I think he's going to have a very good season. He gets deployed like the hardest minutes in the entire NHL. He's definitely not quite in this tier, but he's ahead of these guys. Pavel Mintyukov, same thing kind of goes for Cam York as Pavel Mintyukov. He's going to continue to develop, and Cam Fowler might end up playing even more than him this season, don't get me wrong, but either way, solid meh, but I think he has a very bright future. The kid is only, 20 years old, 21 years old, and had a fantastic rookie year. Miro Heiskanen, I am going to put in superstar. I am going to put him in superstar. This year was a bit of a down year offensively, but still 54 points in 71 games, 73 points the year prior while being amazing defensively. Yes, he's maybe not going to have the most gaudy offensive totals going forward, in part because Thomas Harley has emerged as being such a good offensive defenseman, but I think Miro Heiskanen has proved both in the regular season and in the postseason that he is a superstar. He's definitely behind these guys. He's my number 4 right now, but I do think that he is a tier up from these two. Evan Bouchard, elite point per game season this year. Great in the playoffs. Yes, he makes some boneheaded decisions from time to time, some dumb turnovers, some dumb positionings, or he's out of position in not a decent amount of times, but sometimes it makes him look bad, and people cherry pick that to make him look like an absolute Matthias Ekholm McDavid fraud. But no, you look at Evan Bouchard, you look at what he's done at his age, I think he's definitely an elite defenseman at this point. Vince Dunn, I really like Vince Dunn. I think I'm going to put him in very good. I am the ultimate Vince Dunn defender. The Seattle Kraken back-to-back years. This guy's put up around 60-ish point pace on not that talented of Seattle teams. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets deployed with Brandon Montour, but he still should no doubt be the number 1 guy in Seattle next season. Justin Falk, again, good top pair defenseman. He still is putting up around like 40 to 50 points a season, but not a number 1. Rasmus Dahlin, he goes in elite, bit of a down year offensively last year, but I think he's going to get back on track and be yet again 70, 75 points while being solid both ways as Buffalo has a better season. Charlie McAvoy, also elite, doesn't quite have the offensive potential to go up in superstar. Maybe he will break out a decent amount this year. He's actually pretty good value for the Norris at 50-1 as I say that, but I think I more so have him in the elite category. Mackenzie Weegar, I'm going to put Weegar in good. I think he's definitely more so on the level of these guys. Last year, he scored like 20 goals. It's pretty wild. So he's around 50 points while being great defensively. He was amazing in Florida defensively. I think he's going to have he's going to have a solid season in Calgary, like underlying numbers. He's probably going to get murdered in terms of plus minus and not have a ton of points because Calgary stinks, but him and Rasmus Anderson are a pretty damn good duo in Calgary. Mikhail Sergachev, I got to put him in like solid meh, just like until we see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could put Sean Durzi here. Like, it's just tough because Sergachev played 2 games in the playoffs, played 17 and 18 minutes a night. I can't assume, and even during that season, he didn't look like how he did in 2023 when he had 63 points. So as of right now, I'm going to be conservative and put him in solid/meh. Gustav Forsling, I'll put him in very good. It's only one elite season in terms of both regular season and postseason. He was great for the Florida Panthers this season, especially in the playoffs. Is he going to take that next step now that Brandon Montour, their number 1 offensive defenseman, is not there? I think he will. I think he's going to have like 50 to 55 points. It'd be very solid defensively. Roman Josi, I do have as that last superstar, as that top 5 defenseman in the NHL. 85 points this year. I see no reason why he can't do it yet again. And he's pretty solid defensively. He's not some black hole. I've said that like 9 times. Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton's tough because like we don't know what, like he missed 60 games last year. I think I'm going to throw him in good right now just until I can't put him ahead of these guys who I saw a full, very good season last year from, but it would not surprise me if Dougie Hamilton's knocking on elite, considering the last time we saw this guy in a full season, he had like 75 points and helped lead the Devils to a 50-point increase in the second round of the goddamn playoffs, including that great overtime goal against the New York Rangers. But here it is. Let me move myself out of the way. Bang! Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Who would you move up? Who would you move down? I'll be seeing you in the next one.